who listen to those first, wonderful panel, and they feel in their heart, well, I would love to serve one people. I'd love to be there. But the majority of pastors in the United States serve congregations that are under 100 people. It's one guy, maybe bivocational, maybe has somebody to help with the bulletin. And he says, I would love to be in this same church, and they just kicked me out. Right. Or I'm at the edge, and I don't know if I can stay because I don't know if they will have me. What sort of word of counsel or encouragement would you give to men in that situation?
One thing is, remember, Northampton kicked out Jonathan Edwards. Okay, so just remind yourself, it's not just because you are faithful, just because you love the Lord, just because you're godly, doesn't mean that you're going to be able to stay. At First Pres Jackson, I followed the two men that founded the Presbyterian Church in America. I was 35 years old when I became the pastor there. And believe me, it occurred to me more than once, this thing could go sideways. And my predecessor, Jim Baird, was really good to me. He had lots of people go into him in the first 2 or 3 years that I was a pastor saying, Dr. Baird, I miss your preaching. This young guy, I can't understand him. And Dr. Baird was wonderfully supportive of me during that period of time. And I had to grow up in the pulpit. The people were incredibly patient with me. So on more than one occasion, Kevin, it occurred to me, this may not work. And so I was committed for the long run, but literally every day I woke up, I said, well, Lord, you gave me another day at First Pres.
Yeah.
Not guaranteeing me tomorrow, but I got today. And so that was my attitude. So I do think all of us need to be prepared to be committed for the long haul and recognize that there are a lot of things that go into being able to stay for the long haul. And it's not always just that you've been called to another place. Sometimes there are things that happen in the congregation. Sometimes those things are utterly unrelated to any failure in your ministry or deficiency in your ministry. It's just related to some of the dynamics. For instance, my successor at First Presbyterian Church has done an amazing job. He is a very godly younger man, David Strain. One of the things I prayed is, Lord, don't give him terribly difficult, hard pastoral problems to deal with in the first days of his ministry. The Lord did not see fit to listen to my prayers. He did not answer those prayers. David had hard thing after hard thing thrown at him. And it really took him years to work through those hard things. And he handled them impeccably. I mean, every time I thought, how does a young man like that handle something in such a godly, biblical, faithful way? And of course, people hated him for it. And but now he's now come into the green pastures of his ministry. He's weathered those, and now things are beginning to be on the rise at the church, and you can just feel it when you go in the room. And nobody is happier than me. But the Lord did not give him an easy path there. So, and that can happen. I'm sure that's happened to some of you. But sometimes you don't make it through those hard patches. So I think we all just need to own that. It can happen to the best of us. We may be committed, but things happen that mean we've got to go somewhere else.